Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I think this is like part 4 of using this book, The Atlas of Unusual Borders, and a couple of you, particularly those that have just joined my Patreon, I always ask, which videos do you enjoy the most? And this one comes up quite a lot. So, after putting it at the bottom of my box when I moved and completely forgetting about it, I've just uncovered it and we're going to look at this today in the ASMR video to help you relax and fall asleep, focusing on weird and crazy borders of different countries around the world. So, for copyright reasons, I'm not looking at every page in this book. So it's going to make a noise. Hang on, let me just pause it. Okay. The spine was a bit creaky. A bit like me. So, we have not looked at all of these in the different ones. I encourage you to find this on Amazon and buy it. It's a wonderful book. And it's got so many different examples. Let's take a look at some random ones and leave some pages out. This one, starting off, is Canada and USA. The Canada-USA border. It's got 2 bits here, this is interesting. Point Roberts and Northwest Angle. 2 countries brought closer together by a cultural venue that straddles the border. It's a nice picture here. It says Boundary Bay, Point Roberts, Canada, USA. Okay. I'll take a look at the map first, and then we'll read the info about it. There seems to be 2, so this is, it's got Boundary Bay here. This is Canada, of course, to the north. And then this is the south part, is where the USA lies. So this, at the end of this peninsula, Point Roberts appears to be in United States. Blaine is over here. Looks like a pretty area, to be honest with her. It says Delta is there. The world's longest border between the United States and Canada, at first glance seems quite straightforward. The Great Lakes and St. Lawrence River make up a large part of it, and most of the rest follows a straight line. However, if we enlarge the map enough, we can see that there's a very long border, about 6,500 kilometers between mainland USA and Canada, plus another 2,500 kilometers between Alaska and Canada. Has a few illogical and unusual points. One of these points is the town of Point Roberts. It is located in the northwest of the United States in the state of Washington. It is located on a peninsula that, with the exception of the southern part, belongs to Canada. Therefore, the land route from Point Roberts on the south of the peninsula to the rest of the United States leads entirely through Canada. This unusual situation is due to the demarcation along a line of latitude by which all land south of the 49th parallel belongs to the United States and all land north of that parallel to Canada. Of course, there are a few minor inconsistencies to this rule which will be described below. Point Roberts, with an area of about 12 square kilometers, has less than 1,500 inhabitants. The population grows in the summer to about 4,500 when many tourists from Canada go to their holiday homes there. In the town there is a primary school for children in lower grades. Other older children with US citizenship take the school bus to Blaine, a city 40 kilometers away, on the border between the United States and Canada, while Canadian children go to school in the nearby town of Delta, a suburb of Vancouver. Point Roberts has a small airport and port, enabling a direct connection to the rest of the United States. And telecommunication services are provided by companies from both the US and Canada. Many residents of Point Roberts make a living from services provided to visitors from nearby Vancouver. A major attraction to do this is the climate, which is milder and more pleasant than in the surrounding region. That's a horrible trip to school, isn't it? Oh, all that way. When you're next to a neighbour who might be Canadian, let's go up there. Seems a bit silly to me. Oh, we've come to the front cover one. I'll leave that one. You can have a look at it yourself when you buy the book. I've got a feeling I've done this one already. The boundary that was redrawn to bring the new lighthouse into Finnish territory. Yeah, I've done that one. Maybe I didn't move the mark last time. Silly Billy. Okay, we'll just keep moving then, shall we? Yeah, I've done this one as well. This looks fun. Okay. A tripoint. Actually, let's just see the title for this. Oh, fun. Border quadripoints. Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, Canada, Catania Province, Sicily. A quadripoint is a geographical point at which the borders of four regions intersect. Obviously, the famous example is here in the Four Corners Monument in the USA. Let's study the map for a second. So Zambia is here to the north. The Zambezi River is coming down here. We've got Namibia over here, Botswana down the south, and Zimbabwe here. So the Zambezi River is the border at this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4 African countries here. This is the sort of southeast of Africa, these countries. A tripoint or border area is a geographical point at which the borders of three regions intersect. These regions may be countries or they are constituent elements, counties for example, states. There are currently between 150 and 200 country tripoints in the world. I'm quite surprised at that. Some of them are not precisely defined because the borders of the countries around them are not fully defined, while some are situated in waters, seas, rivers or lakes. Land tripoints are usually clearly marked because, or sometimes even with a suitable pillar, or as in the case of the tripoint of Austria, Slovakia and Hungary, a three-sided table, where each side of the triangle bears the coat of arms of one of the countries. That's cute. We may occasionally hear that an event occurred at the tripoint of countries X, Y and Z. But what about quadripoints? Have we ever heard that something happened at the quadripoint of countries A, B, C and D? Probably not, because the waves of the African Zambezi River are not significant enough to make the news, unfortunately. Why the waves of the Zambezi? Currently, on the whole of the planet, with its nearly 200 sovereign countries and about 100 other territories of various levels of sovereignty, one would expect there to be a fair number of quadripoints, but that is not the case. There may be one quadripoint, which happens to be in the middle of the Zambezi River, where the borders of Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe and Botswana meet at one point. The problem with this quadripoint is that Botswana and Zambia do not recognize it, claiming that two tripoints, Namibia, Zambia, Botswana, and Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, only 100 to 200 meters apart, are what exists instead. These two countries already have a plan to build a bridge over their short border between the two tripoints. So far, Namibia and Zimbabwe have not objected, which means they probably agree, at least tactically, or tacitly. There is no quadripoint after all. That's a shame. There are other kinds of quadripoints in the world though. One example is the quadripoint of Austrian Germany, near the Austrian Pen enclave of Jungholz. And there are similar quadripoints between the Netherlands and Belgium. In the divided town of Baarle, such quadripoints are known as binational quadripoints. In addition, there are combined quadripoints, places where the borders of, for example, two countries and two provinces of a third country intersect at one point, or any such similar combination, such as the example of the quadripoint of Lithuania, Russia, and Kaliningrad, and two Polish provinces. Okay, I get it. So you've got the North Sea up here, and then you've got Kaliningrad, used to be Prussia, now belonging to Russia, and we've got the border here, Lithuania's here, Mariampole is just there, but then in Poland to the south we have the two districts of Warmińsko-Mazurskie and Podlaskie, and the town of Elk is down here. So we can see that Russia, Lithuania, and then the two border states, provinces are here. So this point here is with technically four, but these two both belong to Poland. In recent history there were two quadripoints. One of them existed for several months in 1960 in the southern part of Lake Chad, obviously our favourite country on this channel, where three independent countries, Nigeria, Chad and Cameroon, met at one point with British Cameroon. Have you heard of British Cameroon? After a referendum on this British mandate, the northern part decided to merge with Nigeria, and the southern part with Cameroon, turning the quadripoint into a tripoint. The second, similar quadripoint lasted much longer, from 1839 to 1920. It was formed by three independent countries, Belgium, the Netherlands and Prussia, namely Germany, and neutral Moresnet. Moresnet was a condominium established by the Netherlands and Prussia. This is all new to me. After Belgium separated from the Netherlands, the condominium was governed by Belgium and Prussia, while the unification of Germany in 1876 led to Moresnet being governed by Belgium and Germany, although Moresnet slowly obtained wider internal governance and complete independence was increasingly demanded. Under the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, neutral Moresnet, along with several other nearby German towns, was awarded to Belgium. Today these territories represent part of the German-speaking community of Belgium, the smallest federal community in Belgium. Yes, okay, I'm familiar with that. Another example of a quadripoint is within Canada. So two of the territories and two of the provinces, I think they're called. So you've got Saskatchewan, Manitoba, along with Nunavut and the Northwest Territories hitting together there. Apparently it also happens in England, 4 English counties of Gloucestershire, Oxfordshire, Warwickshire and Worcestershire, known as the 4 Shire Stone. Since the changes to the Worcestershire boundary in 1931, this monument has stood in the tripoint of the other 3 counties. Okay, this next one's really fun by the looks of it. At a lower administrative level, for example at the level of cities and municipalities, there are also multi-points, some of which have considerably greater complexity. In Finland, near the city of Turku, there is a 7-point, where 7 municipalities meet. For a while it was an 8-point until 2 of the municipalities merged. In Florida, there is a local 5-point, while in the Philippines there is a 6-point and an 8-point. Ireland and Italy both have 10 points. Out of the 20 municipalities that make up Park Etna in Catania province in Sicily, Italy has many as 11, including one of them twice, border on 1 point, which is probably the only 11-point in the world, located as it is in the centre of Mount Etna. That's what this picture tries to convey. So you have Mount Etna in the middle, you've got Randazzo, Maletto, Biancavilla and Pedara, and then you've got all of these little municipalities closing in on Mount Etna herself. This is the island of Sicily in the Mediterranean. Fascinating, isn't it? Wonderful. Wow. So this is India. So it says unusual internal borders in Asia. Puducherry, that's in India, and the United Arab Emirates, the small country with a large number of enclaves. So this is the example of Puducherry in India. So I guess what they're trying to get at is there are lots of enclaves of different states within the other state. Is that what it's getting at? So Puducherry's there. Let's see. We can see Puducherry on the map there, to the southern tip of India. Most countries in the world have their own internal borders, outlining the administrative areas into which they are divided. Just as with country borders, where the aim is to try and keep them as simple as possible, so that relations between the neighbouring countries are as good as they can be, internal borders should also be straightforward and logical. After all, it has been demonstrated many times throughout the history that it's better for internal borders to be clearly defined. Otherwise, they can become a source of conflict, like in the examples of the disintegration of the USSR and Yugoslavia. We looked at some of those in videos 1 and 2. Nevertheless, some internal borders around the world are rather strange. Puducherry, currently the official name of Pondicherry, is an Indian Union territory, one of the smallest, 492 square kilometers, yet at the same time also one of the most dispersed. This territory consists of 4 districts, each of which is an enclave. Some of these districts contain additional enclaves. The main one has 11, known locally as pockets. 3 districts, Puducherry, Yanam and Karakal, are located in the Bay of Bengal, whereas the smallest district, Mahe, at 9 square kilometers, is located on the Arabian Sea coast. Once again, colonial rule was the reason behind such fragmentation. These enclaves were French colonies, which were returned to India after the Second World War, and which, even though separated by some hundreds of kilometers, were constituted as a unified Union territory. That is crazy. So this here and that there, they're in this part. They belong to the same administrative area. Crikey. It's the Bay of Bengal here. The situation is equally complicated with the internal borders of the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Except for the largest emirate, Abu Dhabi, all the other emirates consist of numerous enclaves and exclaves. the numbers on the map show the 7 different emirates. The Republic of Indonesia, one of the largest and most densely populated countries in the world, consists of 34 provinces, 2 of which are distinctive each in its own way. The westernmost province of Aceh is the only Indonesian province that fully enforces Sharia law. On the other hand, in the southern part of the island of Java is the special region of Yogyakarta, the only monarchy, a sultanate, among all the Indonesian provinces. The sultans of Yogyakarta acquired this right after their significant contribution to the fight for Indonesia's independence. Let's take a look then at the map of UAE first. So we have, I think Abu Dhabi is this one, number 2. Dubai. Oh no, this is Dubai. Abu Dhabi is number 1. Oh, it's on the set. Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Number 3 is Sharjah, Sharika. Ajman is 4. Al-Qawain is 5. Ras Al-Khaimah is 6. And 7 Al-Furayja. But then also number 7 is down there. And number 6 stops there to break into number 7 and then continues. And then number 3 is here and here. So this is Sharjah, but it's also over there. And that one is shared between Sharjah and Furayja. And then this one is 4. So this one is the same as that one, Ajman. This one is 2, so this one is also Dubai. And then also number 3, Sharjah is also up there. So 3 is split quite a lot. Oh, 4, I missed 4. So there, and there, for some reason, is Ajman. And then that makes it even weirder is that Oman is there. That's Oman. And then it continues back there in the Strait of Hormuz, this peninsula part. So Oman is there, and there. But also if you look, within Oman is another enclave of the UAE. So that enclave is continuous, is surrounded by Oman, which is in turn surrounded by the UAE. Okay, leave this one for next time. But it says, internal borders North America, Ellis Island and Kentucky Bend, the land that will become an island, but only for a time. Sounds fascinating. Okay, I'm going to remember to move the marker this time, so I don't get confused again. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favour and click like, would you please? I'd be so thrilled if you could do that for me. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, if you want to join my Patreon, take a look at it. I upload 1 extra map video a month that doesn't get produced on this channel at all. Never ever comes out. And that's every month. So I started in January, so we're in May. So this, well, I'm going to record the 5th one. So there's already 4 videos you've never seen. Map videos, and there's going to be another one this month. I'm going to do it literally as soon as I finish as soon as I finished recording this. And also every month I also do a ramble where I just talk about myself to camera and tell you how my month has gone and what stuff is happening with me in my life. So you get extra 2 videos essentially, 1 map video and 1 little ramble every month. So consider that. Quite a few who've joined this month, so hello. And to all my long-standing patrons as well, thank you so much. Okay, so like, subscribe, comment, join Patreon. Sorted. Okay. Thanks to my patrons for reminding me that this book exists.